another memosgarageaz video. Today we're replacing the AC compressor on the G37. Let's get to it. Alright, let me give you some context. Not long after I did the VR30 trans swap, I started getting this weird vibration, kind of like a chattering vibration sound coming from around the compressor area down here. And let me insert a clip of how it sounds now, because now it's really easy to make it to replicate it. Okay, so I've narrowed that sound down to the compressor. So the other day, I actually ordered a new one. Well, I don't know if it's exactly new, but it's like remanufactured or whatever. And I got a new pulley because I figure that it has to be that bearing that's inside of there. So this bearing, I guess when it goes bad, it starts to make, you know, like a weird grinding vibration sound. So I ordered this. I went to go take off the old one from the G, and as soon as I took this out where this sits on the compressor, I saw refrigerant. So the green fluid, that's what refrigerant looks like. It's like a greenish fluid. So at that point, there's no point on just replacing the pulley. The compressor's leaking, so I purchased a new one from O'Reilly's, and this is what I got, and I'm hoping that everything fits like it should. The connections look the same. I already checked the one that I got from another place. It looks exactly like this. There's two connectors. There's your, I'm not sure if this is your high side or low side. I think this is your high side. This is probably your low side. There's two connectors, and it looks like there's 3 bolts that hold this thing in place. One up here, one down here, and one here. So what I'm getting ready to do is to make it a whole lot easier on me. I am going to remove the engine cover, the oil catch cans, the overflow, the coolant overflow, and I'm also gonna take the fans out, the fan shroud, because then that'll give me more access to get my hands in there, because this looks like it's gonna be challenging. I think it's gonna have to come out from underneath because I just don't see it coming out from above. And so I have to figure out that out, because I have all those cooler lines for the trans, and the trans is the one that's going this way, so I got to figure that out. Anyways, I'm not gonna bore you guys with that. I'm just gonna take it out and see how the pulley feels when I spin it by hand, and hopefully that was where the noise was coming from. Whether it is or not, the compressor was leaking, so that had to be changed anyway, so you know, at least I'll be killing that. And then hopefully I'll get rid of both issues. But anyways, so I'll be back. All right, so taking out the fan shroud and the oil catch cans is definitely gonna make the job easier. 1, for taking the belt out. 2, for taking the compressor out this way, sideways. It gives me access to all the bolts and the connectors, so that was a good thing to take everything out. At first I was like, I didn't want to do it, but you know, I'm glad I did now. Also, this is something that I've always done in the past, where before I take any belt off any car, I always draw it out, because you know, sometimes you forget or days go by before you put everything back, and you know, you don't have to break your head. All you have to do is just look back at your drawing and you're good to go. So let's finish this. All right, got this thing out. Don't make the same mistake I just made. So before you take this out, use the plugs that come with the new compressor, if it comes with it, hopefully it does, and plug these, I think this is the high side and the low side. Plug them because when you're trying to take it out from here, you're having to turn it and twist it, and I made this huge mess. Like, I got all the refrigerant on the floor, I cleaned it up. You don't want to be breathing that stuff. That stuff is very toxic, harmful to your lungs. I think it's worse when it's gas state, in a gas state form or whatever. Maybe not so much in the liquid, but still keep it in there. Don't make a mess. Learn from my mistake. But anyways, now I know that 100% it is this, because this pulley, the bearing feels completely shot. This thing barely wants to turn by hand. It's supposed to turn nice and easy, like this one. See how that's turning easy? So 100% compressor bearing. This is where it was leaking from. That's where I saw the refrigerant when I removed the pulley. So gonna put the new one in, put everything back together, start her up, take her for a drive. Actually, I'm gonna go see if I can get the AC refilled. I had it discharged for about 33 bucks, and I think it's about the same to recharge it, so not bad. It's easier than having to go buy all the other junk you need from Harbor Freight or whatever. I'll just pay the 60-70 bucks it costs to do the evacuation and recharge. All right, let's finish this damn job. I wanted to show before I finish everything else, which I already have the compressor in, all the clips, everything. All of this is done. Belt's back on. Gotta put the fan back on, the catch cans. But I wanted to show these breather hoses, intake breather hoses that I got from C1 Motorsports a while ago, and I've been wanting to go in here and put these in, but I guess I've been kind of like been lazy because, you know, taking all this stuff off. But right now that it's off, perfect. These fit perfect. And so if your intakes did not come with replacement hoses, and it forces you to use these the ones from the stock airbox, that's I totally recommend those hoses because they fit perfectly and they get rid of all these like weird bends and having to use these elbows and this resonator. I think it's called resonator. So, but if you look right here, this hose was already ripped, so it was probably sucking in air, leaking. Same with this one, so I'm glad I finally went in there and replaced them. All right, next clip should be me starting the car. Just started her up and nice and smooth. Sound is gone. Because I think it's been months since I've had all three of my cars running at the same time. Each one, it's been 2 out of 3, and it's been a mixture, like a, you know, Russian roulette. of cars of what two are going to be working, but right now finally I have the three. The Xterra, recently I had to replace the alternator, so that one that finally gave me the middle finger. That one's been the most reliable car out of all of them. So I can finally put some miles on this thing, find out what the long-term longevity of the VR30 longevity of the VR30 transmission is gonna be. I have a feeling it's gonna last a while, and it's probably gonna outlast the motor. Engine has about 131 miles. 131, I wish. 131,000 miles. And I'm probably gonna be, I don't know how much longer it's gonna, how much more it's gonna give me the way I, with the way I drive. Hopefully a little bit longer before I have to tear into it, do the galley gasket and the chain and everything else. But anyways, if you ever have a sound that sounded like what I'll clip it in again. So if you ever have a sound like that, it's most likely the pulley on your compressor. You might be able to just replace the pulley, but in my case, the compressor was leaking, so it had to come out. So anyways, thanks again for watching. I can finally do more content on this car because it's been sitting and I've been driving it only once a week. 3-inch cold air intakes and a retune. That should be coming soon. Thanks again for watching. See you at the next one.